This is our video lesson on angles. This is the first time we're looking at angles, and we're also going to be introducing a ray. This is a very note-heavy lesson. You will be required to submit some sort of notes for this lesson. Again, feel free to use a word processor if that makes it easier for you, but some sort of a picture or a screenshot or something would also work fine. But just know that this is a note-heavy lesson, and before we go into this, just kind of settle in and get ready for a little bit of a more less interactive lesson and more of a learn about new stuff lesson. So jumping right into this, we have angles. Okay, and so angles look like this, just to give you an example. Angles are made up of 3 points, and so in my drawing of an angle, I'm actually going to make this one. So here's angle ABC. So these are made up of 2 rays, so angles. These are made of 2 rays. With a common endpoint. Two rays with a common endpoint. So here is a ray here on this side. Let me just move this to the side. So here is a ray on this side. This would be the ray BA, and we would write it like that. It has starts at B going towards A, right? It's a ray starting at B going towards A. And then down here, this one would be the ray BC. One thing that we don't see with rays is that the ray AB, these things are distinct. These are not the same. The ray AB would be a ray starting at A and going towards B, which unfortunately we don't have in this scenario. There is no ray going from A to B. So just remember that. It's not like a line or like a segment. Rays are distinct in that they have their own kind of way of talking about themselves. They're very distinct. Okay, the endpoint, common endpoint, so I said they have a common endpoint, so I'm going to underline that in green, with a common endpoint. So I'm going to say the common endpoint, let's make this, the common endpoint is called the vertex. So I'm just going to write here, just in so B is the vertex. VERTEX. B here is our vertex. That's just the point of a figure. So whenever a figure comes to a point, so here, this would be a vertex. Even if you are familiar with something like a rectangle, so all of these points would be individual vertex, or as we call them, vertices. So that's what a vertex is. It's whenever something comes to a point. So an angle has a point. Here, B is that point, and that's what we would call the vertex. So we name an angle by using 3 letters. So let's see, named by 3 letters. Where the vertex is always in the middle. So over here, this would be angle ABC. Angle ABC. So I went angle ABC. Angle ABC. Vertex in the middle. ABC. Or you could do it the other way, which is true. Angle CBA. Angle CBA. So you can go the other way, but this would not be angle BAC. angle BAC, that would be a different angle. It would be this angle here in blue, and that is not the angle that we are depicting. This is, so the vertice of an angle has to be in the middle. Whenever we're talking about the measurement of an angle, whenever we're talking about the measure of an angle, let's say, for example, that this angle, we will say, opens up at to 60 degrees. Let's say this is a 60-degree angle. We need to say something different. So notice that when we had, or I will say, remember that, I'm going to write over here. Remember that when we had segments, we said the segment AB was not equal to a number, right? It was the measure of the segment AB that was equal to the number. Well, same thing here for angles. Angle ABC is not equal to a number. It's not equal to 11. However, the measure of angle ABC is equal to a number. So the measure of angle ABC could be equal to 11, and this would, of course, would be degrees, but that's how we make notation. That's how we use the idea of measuring the angles, is by putting this little lowercase m in front of the sign. So this is the figure, this is the measure. Figures are not equal to numbers. Snickers does not equal 7. Chair does not equal 138. The measure of the chair, how tall the chair is, could equal 7 centimeters. I don't know, maybe a small chair. So angles are no different. These are the same types of things. So we do have different types of angles, I'm sure you are all familiar with. So this is an acute angle. This is an acute angle, and these are less than 90. Less than 90 degrees. In addition to that, we have obtuse angles. We have obtuse angles, and these are greater than 90 degrees. And notice that this one in here has this little box. That's the visual significance. That lets us know, that's a visual indicator that this is a right angle. So that's how we abbreviate that. So this is a right angle. Let me just write that just a little bigger. And this is equal to 90. So this is equal to 90 degrees. And then finally, this might be the only angle that we are unfamiliar with. This angle over here is actually, it's a straight line, right? Let's say there's always 2 points on a line. So here we have a straight line somewhere, right? And this is actually what we call a straight angle. It's a straight line, so this is a straight angle. That's the type of angle it is. It's a straight angle, acute, obtuse, right, straight angle, and this is equal to 180, equal to 180 degrees. So again, I think that might be the only new angle that we see that you all have not been exposed to. But it's pretty easy to remember. It's a straight line. We call it a straight angle, and it is equal to 180 degrees. That's double a right angle. Okay, let's look at some examples here. So I'm going to be looking at this example to the side. And the first example says, name the vertex of the angle. I just want to go up here and see. Okay, it says the common endpoint is called the vertex. So B is the vertex. So let's look. Okay, B is the vertex. Oh, that's right. The vertex is the point of the angle. It's kind of the sharp part. So when we look down here, it looks like K is the sharp part. It's in the middle of the other 2 points. And so the vertex of our angle is point K. And if you remember, I said that if you just write a capital letter, K, that means the point K. And let me write that so it doesn't look gross. There we go. Name the sides of the angle. This is less important. Sides of angles are always the rays. So this top side is the ray KL. And this left side is the ray KJ. But again, I'm just going to say sides don't come up that often in angles. Sides are more of something that we look at for triangles or other polygons, but there's not much for the other ones. Let's see. Okay, name 3 ways to name the angle. 3 ways to name the angle. 2 ways. Because we are not going to really be looking at the other A. So let's see, 2 ways. We have angle, let's go around this way. LKJ. And we can go back around this way. Angle JKL. You could technically name an angle by only its vertex. You could call this angle K, but we are not there yet. We are not there yet. That will come up later, and just overall I find it to be, students will get lazy and be confused by this. So we're just not really there yet, but just know that you can do that. Whenever you see the word classify, it means what type. What type of angle is this? So classify the angle, it means what type of angle is this? And so to find the type of the angle, we just have to look up here. Is it less than 90? No. Straight angle? No. Obtuse. This is an obtuse angle. So this is obtuse. This is an obtuse angle. Okay, so I'm going to stop this here, and we will have some more notes on angles coming up.